So good evening to all of you. Thanks for attending. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. Uh, like I said, I had initially decided that I'm going to do this webinar only for about 50 people, but there were just too many people asking for this, and then I thought, let me just kind of extend it in any case. So we have two groups of people in this classroom. One are my existing students, and there are lots of them right at this point of time, and there are another set of students who are not my students and who are attending. So I'm going to cater to both of them. The usual ones are the ones who have already been with me for 8, 9 years, a little bit more than that, or a shorter while of about 4 or 5 years. So the way we are going to break down this presentation is, so upfront, let me tell you, this is going to be a two-parts presentation. Part number one, where you guys can ask me questions or doubts of any product, uh, any stock that is harassing you, any stock that is troubling you, and I will tell you what is to be done. Especially, it is said in the market that when the market is a bull market, at that point of time, everybody is an investor and a trader. It's only when the markets turn and they give you a jolt is where everybody gets is trying to find out whether what should be done next, and they suddenly stop being investors and traders, right? So that's how it is. So the first part of the presentation is where we start off right now. If you have any questions, you have any doubts, you have anything about the stocks, you want to ask me about it, you can ask me right now, and I will give you an answer to it live by looking at the charts. And after that, we will start off with the second part of the presentation, which is the launch of a feeder program called as TIPS or fTIPS. So anybody's got any questions, anybody's got any doubts, anybody wants to ask me about any stock, so Raman Yadav is saying HDFC Limited at 1670. So Raman Yadav's question is that what should he do if he has HDFC at 1670? Let's have a look. Right now, just a quick one. Whenever I take live sessions, I do not go back and I do not do any preparation of going and reading about the charts or anything like that. I read it live so that I'm best able to explain to you what the process is, or best able to explain to you how do we go about doing it, right? So HDFC Limited is at 1670 is his question, and 1670 is what he has asked me. Raman, what I can tell you at this point of time is that you can just hold on. I don't think there is a little bit of any risk to your stock at this point of time at all, really. And if I have to look at it, yeah, the stock might come down a little bit. It might come to the levels about 1550. That's very, very possible. 1550 is very possible. But I don't see any risk below that, which means even if it comes to a 1550, you're still okay. Okay, so don't worry about it. What you need to do is you need to look at your exits, and the exits would be somewhere around 1890. So either you can have an exit at about 1890, or you can have an exit about 1930. So these are the two exits which you need to look at, and you should be okay. So that's not a problem at all, really. Okay, guys, just go a little slow, because what happens is as you type your questions, the questions kind of go up, and I'm not able to read it, and I want to make sure that I answer everybody's queries, right? So just hold on for a minute, because there are at least about 20 questions on the screen. When I tell you, that is the time you start typing. Is that okay with everyone? Somebody's asking a question about ITC. So let's look at ITC. Okay, ITC, yeah. Interesting stuff. In fact, I had told my students, and I had given a public call on ITC to get exit ITC a long time back. And I think as far as my students is concerned, I had also made a video explaining to them why you should not be in ITC. And we exited somewhere around here, about somewhere around here, somewhere about 240. So that's where we all had exited after building up a position. So shit happens, and then when the shit happens, you really need to be able to manage it. So you have to understand that the stock market is very dynamic, right? There could be a news which is coming tomorrow, and it could affect the stock, and there is really nothing you can do about it. So we have to move away. So all my students know this, but for the rest of the chanta, I need to tell you that we have to move away from a state of being predictive. So you have to stop being predictive in life, and you have to start being responsive in life. So Yeah, don't get into the idea that you can predict the markets, where the markets are going to go. What you need to do is that if something happens in the market, this is your plan A. If this happens in the market, this is your plan B. If this happens in the market, this is your plan C. And if something else happens in the market, then this is what you need to do next. So it's like playing a tennis. It's like playing, the ball hits and comes into your court, and then you decide what is to be done on the fly, right? So you have to move away from being predictable towards more being what I call as being responsive, and that is where your skill sets come in. That is where your education comes in. That is where your thinking matrix comes in. That is where your understanding of the market comes in. That is where your experience comes in. So you need to build up all that. It's like driving a car on a highway. You never know what is going to cross your highway. You never know who is going to do what to you on the highway. You need to be trained. So the better you are trained, the better you will be able to address it. So please move away from that predictive mentality. And if you are following people who have predictive mentality, let me tell you that nobody can predict anything in the stock market, including me. Okay, I can anticipate the market. Now, what I can do from my experience and from my training is that I can think of 20 different scenarios which can happen in the market, looking at the way the charts move, and I can find out a solution to all the 20 different scenarios. Which means when I'm looking at the charts, I'm thinking this can happen, this can happen, this will happen, this can happen, this can happen, this could happen, and I have mentally calculated answers to all the things that can happen there. And probably that is the reason why we are able to curtail our losses and are able to make profits. Okay, so this is what somebody who is a professional investor or a trader does. We look at the markets, we analyze the markets, we process the markets, and we have solutions to all the problems which can come in the market. So our skill set really is about our ability to find out and mentally calculate different scenarios which can happen in the market. That is what our objective is. So if you really want to take away anything from this session, you need to move away from the predictive market, the predictive ability, towards 25 different scenarios, 30 different scenarios, and what is possibly that you can do from it. So as far as ITC is concerned, we did get out of ITC a long time back. We were building up a position on ITC, but we did exit it the moment I got signals out of ITC. And at this point of time, ITC really, to be honestly, is into a very hopeless situation. So not something which I would hold, and not something which you should be hold. No matter what you look at it. But however, let me tell you where you can get off, and I can tell you what is the lower side of it. So I would not be surprised if it goes towards 150. Okay, let me say this again to you. I would not be surprised if the stock goes towards 150. If it goes towards 150, till the time it hits 150, you are safe. Okay. If it starts cracking below 140, that is where the panic situation has to come in. Okay, so if you, first of all, you should not be in the stock, but if you are in the stock, and right now in the scenario, the way it is till 150, you're okay. If it cracks below 140 is where the panic situation hits in. Okay, having said that, let me tell you what are your exit points. So your first exit point should be at or around 194. Your second exit point should be around 205. So 194 and 205 are the two exit points which you should look at. Now, is it worthwhile holding it beyond those? No, it is not. Which means if it comes to 194 or 205, please exit. Okay. There are a million other stocks in the market. There are a million other price points in the market. There are a million opportunities in the market. Market gives you an opportunity every single day, every single hour. Okay, it is your ability to find out that opportunities, see that opportunities, recognize that opportunities, and act on that opportunities, which is going to make money for you. Let me see it. It is your ability to see those opportunities, recognize those opportunities, and act on them is what is going to make money for you. So opportunities, there are ample. Okay, you just need to see it. So ITC, Sanjay Kakade, please keep in mind the figures which I told you and try to exit. Okay. Patrick Salve, view on Bajaj Finance. Patrick Salve, you want a view? मेरा view लेके क्या करोगे sir? Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance. What is my view on Bajaj Finance? Let's have a look. Bajaj Finance is something in our financial professionals, and if you are my student, you would very clearly know what Bajaj Finance is happening. It's called as an S&P. So there is an S&P happening in Bajaj Finance, and which means that there is a very high chance that it will either come to the levels of about 2,400, or it could further come down to the levels of about 2,300. So either 2,400 or 2,300 is where it is. Honestly, I don't see that this stock has an underlying. Actually, I don't have the data for today. I tried to download the data, but I did not get it. So I am not able to read it so accurately today. But in any case, the charts say a lot of things. 2,400 is where if it comes down, it will come to 2,400. If not, then you should really plan and exit the stock somewhere at about uh, 3,600. So exit at about 3,600, because about 3,700 it's going to be very difficult. So I'm not saying it will not go above 3,700, but about going above 3,700 is going to be difficult. So again, the way you have to be dealing in the markets is that you take the trades which give you the lower risk. So you cannot completely exit the risk. You cannot completely circumvent the risk. You cannot completely eliminate the risk. That is not possible, either in the stock markets or in life. But what you do is you think a little bit smarter, and you try to take those trades where the risk is slightly lower. We have what is called as asymmetrical risk reward ratio in that terms, and it all can be seen in the charts. There's something which is called as asymmetrical risk reward ratios, which means there is a sweet spot in the stock market where the risk is the lowest, where the returns are the highest. Okay, we call it as an RR, risk reward ratio. So if you are taking a risk of one to a reward of one, then you are not going to make money. If you are taking a risk of one to the reward of two, you're going to be making just about enough money. What we do search out as professionals is we are looking at a risk reward ratio of 1 to 5 or 1 to 7 or 1 to 8, which means the risk is 1, but the reward is 8 times, which means if I lose 10 rupees, but if I make about 80 rupees. This is called as asymmetrical risk reward ratio. So that is what we are really hunting out by looking at the charts in the market, and that is how you are supposed to be making. Right. So, Patrick Salve, you got your answer. Yes Bank 24. Deepa, you put your money into Yes Bank. Deepa, it's a public knowledge that for the last 2.5 years I've been screaming and shouting, and I've made some 3 public videos that you should not be into Yes Bank at all. Okay. But there you go. You are. So it's okay. So if you are into Yes Bank, let's have a look at the age of price of 24. I had very clearly said, please get out of Yes Bank. Please get out of Yes Bank. Even when the Yes Bank had gone down to the levels of about 15, there are people who were, trying to justify themselves. Maybe you don't know much about the markets. Maybe for whatever reasons, we have got public calls, which means I've been screaming and shouting and hoarding, and there have been people who have got very aggressive with me for that, where I've told people to exit Yes Bank when Yes Bank was at 220 and 240. Okay. And there are public videos, which means they are on timelines, which means you can actually go and look at what I said at that point of time. And there are people who continue to hold it. And then again, I had some videos which I made where I said that it's somewhere over here and please exit. Do not be in the market. Do not be in Yes Bank. And it's further gone down. So all I can say is that Deepa, not the smartest thing for you to do to be in the Yes Bank, because it could go anywhere. Okay. Let me just there is another stock called Sanvaria Consumer. Oh my god, this is going to be very interesting. Deepa, Sanvaria Consumer, let me tell you offhand, is a lousy stock. It is what is called as a operator stock. It is something which is called as a run-up stock. It is a stock which is called as a managed stock. Most of my students know this, that if you are any of these stocks which are all clearly an operator stock, you are going to lose money. That's very simple. So and now the dilemma which you have in your head is that you have bought the stock at a higher price and it has gone down so much, and you must be thinking, वैसे भी कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला, I'm not going to get anything out of it. What should I do? If I were you, first of all, I would not be in the stock. But if I were you, I would just exit. take the bullet, exit, take that money, try to make money somewhere else. Okay. So that's my view about Sanvaria. Let's look at Idea. Vodafone Idea. Let's have a look at Vodafone Idea. Vodafone Idea is also similar, honestly speaking. So let's have a look at Vodafone Idea. Vodafone Idea is again very similar to that. So there is a matrix which we follow as professionals where we have some do's and don'ts. There are a couple of things which we are looking at do's and don'ts. There are certain things which we don't want to be doing in the markets. There are some rules and regulations which we follow, and if you do follow the rules and regulations, it does protect us. Deepa, again, like so a lot of my students, they would know that this is what is called as an SMP candidate, and there is a chance that it may go up, there is a chance that it may go down, and you might just want to hold on for some time. Okay, so let me move ahead. Lupin at 996. So Saurav Suman says Lupin at 996. So I'm just going to have a look at Lupin right now. Okay, so 996 is where you are having Lupin. Okay, and so all I can say to you is that you can hold. Okay, if you want a short-term exit, here's what you got to do. Your short-term exit should be 1060. You can write down these figures. The short-term exit could be 1060, and if you period of time, and if you have a capability of about 2 years or so, or 1.5 year or 2 years or so, then the figures that I'm looking at is 1368. So please make sure that you exit before or at 1368, and you should be fine. Is that okay? All right. So Canara Bank, Trupti Gosalkar is saying Canara Bank at 112. So let's have a look at it. Canara Bank. So Canara Bank at 112. So again, Canara Bank is really a hopeless stock. It's a stock which you should be completely avoiding. And you bought it at 112. I don't know the reason why you've done it. But here's what I'm going to tell you now. You bought it at a very wrong price. Okay, so what you need to do is the moment it goes to 112, okay, exit. So you'll have to wait for some more time. Okay, you probably will have to wait for maybe another 2 to 4 months. Okay, looking at the way I'm seeing it, 2 to 4 months. And if you get exit at 112 or 110, please exit. Okay, please don't act smart. Please don't try to think that it will further go up. The first rule of the stock market is that you manage your risk first and then make money. You manage your risk first and then make money. That's how it is got to be. Okay, if you're going to compromise on your risk, you're never going to make money. There people say that risk is equal to reward. It is wrong. In the stock market, as professionals, we never take risk. In fact, as professionals, we are always looking at trades where the risk is the lowest and the rewards is the highest, and we are trained to do that. I train students to learn this, and that is how we make money consistently. You make money in the market once or twice is okay, but if you have to make money for the next 1, 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I'm talking about bigger amounts of money, where you put bigger amounts of money of your net worth, then the story is very different. Okay, so please exit at 112 because you have misfired on that particular trade. Now, Rohit Chaudhary says that you have HDFC AMC for 2 or 3 years. So let's have a look at it. Okay, HDFC AMC. Okay. If you are looking at HDFC AMC for another next 2 or 3 years, I don't really see any problem at all. Just keep on holding it. At this point of time, I feel that at the bottom of 2000. Okay, so honestly speaking, chances of the stock going below 2000ish level, okay, below 2000ish level, which means 2000 plus minus 100 points here and there, is very dicey. So if you're going to hold it for the next 2 or 3 years, I don't see any problem at all. So please continue holding it. But it's not a fire starter of a stock. It's not a stock which will make a lot of money for you. It's not a stock which is going to be absolutely rocking. Okay. It will make average amount of money. If you're okay with that, then it's fine. There are much better stocks. There are much better fish in the sea if you want to make money. So here's my opinion. Bajaj Finance. Well, Nishant. I gave you an answer about Bajaj Finance, right? Procter and Gamble hold. Nikhil, if you're asking me about Procter and Gamble, you can hold. Varun Sony is asking me a question. Piramal Enterprises at 1630. So let's have a look at it. PIRAM. Piramal Enterprises and 1630. Okay. Um, so 1630, my friend, you are into big trouble because you have absolutely targetedly bought that stock at the wrong price. Okay. So not only are you amazingly precise on buying the stock at the wrong price, you've just done it to the T. Okay. So here's what you got to do now. Okay. So whenever, as and when you get a chance and a time, please exit the moment it comes to anywhere about 1650. Okay. 1650 is where you need to exit your stock. Are you understanding? 1650 is, you need to be out of it by 1650. Otherwise, you're going to get into trouble. Okay. Nilesh Jadhav is asking a question. IGPL at 164. IGPL in the Prastak Chemicals. IGPL. Again, Nilesh, IGPL at 164. Let's have a look. I think you can hold on, but here's what I want to say to you, Nilesh. This is the figures which I would talk about. Um, there are two ways of looking at it. Point number one, that you need, I mean, and this is very specific in category, to exit by 360. Okay, because anything above 360 is going to be risky. So please hear me out. Again, I'm talking from a, does that mean it will not go above 360? I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying that anything above 360 is risky for you. So it does not make any sense. So there are two ways of looking at it. Either exit, hold on for some time and exit at 360, or two. And the second way of doing it is put a stop loss at about 240, and whatever is your upside, take that upside. Are you understanding? You put a stop loss at 240, and whatever is your upside above that, you take that upside. Is that okay? Apollo Tires, Sapan Shah. Apollo Tires. क्या है Sapan? Unless until you give me the prices, I will not go ahead with this. Okay. IOLCP. Sumit Chaudhary, IOLCP. HDFC, AMC. Kalpesh Vakude, Ritesh Soni. So Ritesh Soni says, what should we do with gold and silver? Ritesh Soni, let's have a look at gold and silver. Okay. At this point of time, gold clearly seems to be in a bull trend. Okay, so if you want to hold on the gold for some time, it should be fine. But again, let me tell you that gold and silver is not something which you can really hold, buy and hold, because you never know where it is going to go, and it is, a lot of it is based on the international and global news. Okay, so you really don't know. So the best for gold and silver is to, you should be able to trade, and you should know how to trade it. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you about gold. Gold, hold it, and you should be, so far you should be okay. The exits should be somewhere at about 56. So if you are able, if you are having the stock, please exit by 56, and you should be fine. Um, okay, so Mr. Shetty says, Pravira Shetty says on Indian hotels. So let's have a look at Indian hotels. Just hang on. Indian hotels. So Indian hotels is, my friend, not a very good stock at this point of time. It's a stock which I would avoid like a plague, because it's a choppy stock. It just kind of goes up and down. It stresses me out. Not me, as in anybody who's an investor. Stress it, and there's no benefit out of getting stressed. Okay, so it's one of those stocks which will just keep on stressing you out, but will not give you any benefit. The lower level that I look at for Indian hotels is about 80. The upper side, which I would look at, is either exit at about 110 or 135. So these are the two figures that you need to look at. 110 and 135 are the upper side where you need to exit depending on what your comfort level is. And the lower side seems to be 80. So pick your choose in both of these. Okay. Uh, Vinayak Tendulkar is asking me a question: is Bharatiya Airtel a good stock to be in? So let's have a look at it. Vinayak, unfortunately not. Now again, when you ask me a question like, is Bharatiya Airtel a good stock to be in? It depends on whose definition. Now, if you're okay by 10-15% returns or 10% returns with ample of risk, if that is your idea of Wonderland and if that is your idea of being a good stock, then good. As far as I am concerned, it will not be anywhere on my radar because anything which does not make money for me is not something that I would put my money into. Okay. So if you ask me, again, my personal opinion, hopeless stock. Okay. It's a hopeless stock. So I would not be anywhere around there. But, well, different people have different. Now, there is some Mr. Ganesh T who has asked me one question some 9 times. So it's called Hikal Limited. So it looks like that if I don't answer him, he's going to get very upset with me, and I don't want him to get upset with me. So I'm going to answer that question. So his question is Hikal, Hikal, Hikal. That is written Hikal some 10 times. Okay. So this is the stock of Hikal. Okay, let's have a look at the chart. Okay, so Ganesh, here's what it is. Okay, Hikal is a stock uh, uh, which is a very volatile stock. Okay, it's a stock which is extremely volatile, and it'll just keep on chopping for you, and it will just keep on moving up and down for you, and there is not too much of a benefit out of it. But here's what it is: if this stock goes about 200, okay, then it will continue to climb. Not 200, but about 210, it will continue to climb. But if it hits 210 and turns around, then it's one stock I would like to exit. So here's how I am going to do it. I don't know what price you bought it at. Uh, I would put it, it is called a touch if buy, touch if sell kind of orders that we put in the market. If it is coming to 210, okay, I'll put a tight stop loss here. And if it goes above it, I have an upside, unlimited upside, and I have zero risk. But if it turns around and goes down, then the stop loss gets hit and I'm out of the trade. Okay. Either ways, the risk for me is the lowest and the returns are the highest. But for you to be able to execute that, you need to know the mechanism of how it is to be done, and what is the the philosophy behind it. So unless until you know that, it's of no use. I can just tell you this is how it works. Okay. What we are going to do is I'm going to take two more stocks and then we are going to go to the next part of the webinar, which is actually what everybody is looking forward for is the tips. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. All right. So let me talk the last two things. Last two stocks which I will look at, and then I'm packing it up for us guys. You can continue to have ask me these questions on my Facebook page, and I'll answer you. Or we can have another session later, and then I can answer you. So either of it which works. So one is Bandhan Bank, and second is Bail. Okay, so these are the two answers I'm going to give you. Bandhan Bank. So I don't know what price you bought the Bandhan Bank, but like really a hopeless stock. Not something which I would like to put my money into at all. In fact, what you should do is that you should try to exit the stock either at the price of 340 or 380 immediately. I mean, I would not, if I was there, I would never be in this stock, but if I was there, I would exit it by 340 or 380. And the chances of it turning around and coming down to the levels of 252 is high. Below 252 looks difficult, or if it does come below 252, there is a very high chance that there would be demand coming in. 200, when I say 252, it's not precise 252, but 252, 250, 249. These two, three values are possible. So, but I don't see it going below 239. Okay, so 239 probably could be the floor for it, where below which the risk is going to be very, very minimal, the way I see it at this point of time. But I've given you the figures where you should be exiting it out. So this is where you need to be exiting out. So that is Bandhan Bank for you. And the last one which I'm going to take is BHEL. Okay, Bharat Heavy Electricals. Again, Bharat Heavy Electricals, a hopeless stock. Uh, Not some stock which I have ever put my money into. The whole world puts money into it, but I have never put my money into it, and none of my students have put my money into it. And it's very, very clear why. Um, so you can have the story in your head saying that it is one of the largest companies in India and it runs India and all that is okay. I'm here to make money for my money. I'm not here to run behind a company which is the largest company in India. It does not matter to me whether the company is largest. What matters to me as an investor is whether that company is going to make money for me or not. And I know for a fact that this is not going to make money at all. For all of my students, let me tell you very clearly that this is a stock which is into what is called as a Dow theory mode or a hybrid theory mode. So if you guys know of it, just apply it to this chart and you would know what I'm talking about. All right. For the rest of you guys, there are at least about 100 stocks which people have asked me, so I'm not going to be able to answer it at this point of time. You can always write it on my Facebook page and I'll give you an answer to it. To more important, let's come to the bigger part of the presentation, which is the tips. And if you guys are losing money, and it looks like most of you guys are, then you might want to pay a lot of attention to what I'm going to say, because there is a massive opportunity which you're going to get today. And let me tell you the reason why I started this program. Okay. Uh, I will tell you the reason why, and then you'll be able to appreciate why I started this program called Tips. 2nd October, okay, is a very special day for me. And the reason why it's a special day is because it is my father's birthday. Okay. And my father passed away a couple of years back. Okay. And when and he was a doctor. He was a very hardworking doctor, and while he worked hard all his life. By the time he was about to pass off, he lost a lot of money because he got cancer. And during the time that he got cancer, I was with him, and I told him that uh, you know uh, I'm going to do whatever it is in my power. Okay, and that's the conversation which I had, in my power, to make sure that people, okay, and especially middle class people, do not lose money, are able to make money for themselves. I will, how do I say the right word is, spread financial literacy. I will teach to people things which otherwise never get taught, because when he was about to die, I was actually teaching him. So last 7 or 8 months of his life, I was actually sitting down and having a lot of conversation with him, and that is the time he actually heard what I had to say, and he understood that there are a lot of things which is there to be learned. So this program is in his memory, that yeah, that's a promise that I made to him, that how much ever I can, I will make sure and I will try to help out people so that they do not make losses in the market, because it is so brutal to make losses in the market. So that is exactly the reason why, same time last year, I also created a program. That is a reason why, same time 4 years back, I created a program called Ninja Trader. That is which was a super hit program. In fact, most of the people who are into Ninja Trader, which is slightly a high-end or super high-end program, people make a lot of money out of that. And that is the same time I started a program called as Master Classes. So I started master classes and the whole series of master classes for him, actually, for him and my children. And so that is the whole background story of it. So usually September or October is a little bit of a sensitive time in my life. I started master classes for it. And there are hundreds and hundreds of students who say that they are absolutely in love with master classes, and they're absolutely in love with what we teach there. It has according to them changed a lot of people's lives. Master classes especially changed a lot of people's lives. Ninja Trader has made a lot of money for people. And last year at the same time, I started other programs. So there was a program called Roti which came in, and Boss which came in, and there are a lot of programs which came in, uh, specifically with the target of the 2nd October as a date. So this is a continuation from that point of view. So give me about 30 minutes of your time. Okay. See whether this makes any sense to you in your life. See whether you are able to take benefit out of this. And I just hope that I'm able to this thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go off reading the comments. Okay, all the comments get recorded. This video presentation is recorded, which means you can go back and have a look at it. Okay, and let me just go ahead with the presentation. So this program is a feeder program called as fTIPS or fingertips. Now, why fingertips is in ultra low maintenance, safe, precise, targeted swing and positional trading system. Now, why did I name it fingertips? For a simple reason that one, people have this mysterious love for getting tips. Okay, that's one part of it. So we are going to try to address that. Okay, though I don't like giving out tips per se, because I would rather people learn it and make money for themselves. Honestly speaking, it's a lot difficult for me to teach people. It's a lot easier for me to give them tips. But I believe that if people don't learn, they're not going to earn. Okay, that's my personal belief. Second, F tips simply means that stock market is the only place in the world where you can make money by using your fingertips. Okay, so if you are here because you want my tips, hang around, look at the presentation, you will get what you want. If you are here because you want to understand and learn something, fingertips simply means that stock market is the only place in the world where you could be in any place of the world. You could be sitting in Antarctica, you could be sitting in Africa. With your fingertips, you could be sitting down and making money for yourself. So that is the whole explanation of fingertips or tips. Yeah. Having said that, if you're here for tips, hang on. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead very quickly with it. So very quickly, let me introduce myself. For most of the people who are here know me already, but for a lot of people who do not know me, let me just kind of give you my credentials. So I'm generally what is called as STOCKBABA, because I have been in the market. I have been teaching in India for last 10 years. I've been teaching for last 13 years around the world. I started teaching 13 years or 14 years back, where I was in Singapore, where I was when I was working for a Swiss bank. I was an investment banker back then, and I used to enjoy teaching. Teaching is a passion for me. It is still a passion for me, and that's why I do it. For 13 or 14 years back, I used to go and teach for Bloomberg's. So whatever you say, Bloomberg's TV, the mothership of Bloomberg's in Singapore, I used to go and teach there because I used to enjoy it. So a lot of the senior bankers, I'm talking about executive directors and directors and CEOs and senior vice presidents who did not understand about the stock market, used to come down and learn from me, and I used to get a kick out of it because I used to enjoy teaching. That's 13 or 14 years back. 10 years I've been in India. I've been teaching. I teach the science of the stock market, which means people feel that stock market is gambling. People feel that stock market is random. It is not. Let me tell you, it is a precise science. Okay. It is. There is all logic behind everything. Everything can be explained. Whatever I can talk with my students, if you know the concepts and I know the concepts, I can actually tell you these things are happening, and you will be able to see logic behind it. It is called as science because stock market is based on a subject called as behavioral economics or applied finance. Behavioral economics and applied finance is a subject which is based on psychology, and because it is based on psychology, psychology being science, stock market is a science. And that is why there is a program called MSc in Trading and Finance, which is run in London School of Economics, which is run in Jamnalal Bajaj in Bombay, which is also run in Mumbai University in Bombay. And I happen to be a professor of that. It's a 2-year full-time program where only 27 students are allowed in the entire year. And it's a very, very coveted program because not more than 27 students are taken in. And the cutoff for you to be able to join that program is about 99.5% in your CAT score. and passing your GD and your interview and coming in the top 30 students. So that's how perverted that program is. If you ask me, is it a science? It is a science, and I teach there as a professor. Okay. So just a quick one. I have been teaching in India for last 10 years. We have more than 6,500 students today. We have more than 16 courses. Okay, 16 courses. We have been teaching online since last 7 years. So we went online in 2013, not right now. Okay, so all our programs have been going around for last 10 years. All the programs have been online for last 7 years. We have been teaching online for 7 years, and it has been going on. And we have a huge amount of students. Okay, the one thing which we have in our programs is that there is a selection process, which means it's not a commercial program. It's not that you can waltz to me and say, "Sir, I want to join your program and I will take you in." Unless and until I'm not convinced, I will not take you in. I have been known to thoroughly reject a lot of people, and I have a list of people whom I do want to reject very clearly in my mind because I feel that these people cannot learn. They cannot learn. They will waste their time. They will waste my time. They will waste their money. They will waste my energy, and it does not help anyone. So there is a selection process. There's a selection process for all our students. Okay. And we are not a commercial venture in the sense that we have the last word whether we want to teach you or not. So it is not about that. Most important part of our programs is that there are three people who are always constant in my program apart from everybody else, and that is two of my sons and one of my daughter, who is my sister's daughter. So all my programs that I create are for my children, which means my children sit through the programs, okay, and they learn the programs, and that is the reason why I create those programs, and then I distribute their programs and I teach their programs to others. So that is the speciality of our program. So it's not a commercial venture, okay. Um, when somebody becomes our student, then he gets an access to our entire ecosystem, and there's a huge ecosystem. Everything that is required by a person to learn the stock market and make money and become very successful has already been designed, and the entire system and process is already there. The ecosystem is already there. You need to plug and play inside the system, which means it is not about whether I can teach you, whether our programs work, or whether we make money. No, that is not a question anymore. It is a question is whether do you have the credibility for us to allow you inside the classroom. That's how simple it is. So we have very specialized programs. In fact, weeks back I launched a program called FIRE, which is called as Financial Literacy and Retire Early. Before that, there's another program called Altis. There is a whole lot of programs about making money. There's a whole lot of programs about being financially literate. There's a huge amount of repertory of programs about the stock market and psychology and things like that. So just list goes on and on depending on how much people want to learn. Again, all my programs are made categorically for my children's consumptions. So what my children get to consume and learn for them to become professional traders is exactly the same thing that we teach our students. Okay, so who am I? I'm a full-time investor, which means that is what I do for a living. 98% of my net worth or money that I have go into the stock market so that it makes more money for me. That's how it's going to be. I'm a full-time trader, which means I take live trades and I make money. I'm also a trainer. I teach people how to do that. So whatever that we do is what we teach, and what we teach is exactly what we do. There is no disconnect there. Okay. I've been a faculty at various organizations. So I have been a senior trainer with Sher Khan for last 10 years, with Online Trading Academy for last 10 years. I've written some curriculums for ICICI Direct. I've taught students in ICICI Direct. In fact, the curriculums have been written there. I am a professor with some MBA institutes for the finance. I'm a professor of London School of Economic derivative program called MSc in Trading and Finance for Mumbai University. Jamnalal Bajaj, the list goes on and on. Programs that we have been running, out of which you may get a chance to attend the program today called fTIPS, is something which has been going on for 10 years. So we are doing nothing new. Okay. We've been on, like I said, online for 7 years. So this is what we really do. I am a retired guy. I retired when I was 36 years of age, which means after 36, I really haven't done anything that I don't want to do in my life for money. When I was before that, I used to be heading 7 countries for a Swiss bank based out of Southeast Asia in Singapore. So I used to be living in Singapore as an investment banker and heading 7 countries and P&L of 7 countries. Till one day I realized that that's not what I want to do in my life, and I retired. I put my own money and I make money, and that's how I run my family. And that's exactly what I teach other people to do. So who are we? Okay, all our programs are practical and they work, which means we are not into giving you global GAN and theories. We are not into giving you theoretical aspect of it. What I teach you will make money, will makes money is what I teach you. That's how simple it is. Neither I have time to faff around, neither I will waste anybody else's time, because for me, time is very, very specific. Okay, what we do is exactly what we teach, and what we teach is exactly what we do. So there is no disconnect. So, like they say, the owner of the hotel eats here. I'm one of those kind of people, old school people. Okay, our teachings are drama free, straight to the point, very blunt and very sharp at the same time. Okay, every advice that we give is extremely honest. Okay, I will not say things which are not honest. That is, and I'm not going to change it for you. It is something which I do for myself, and I have not been able to do. I have not been able to circumvent that. Okay, so we are solely trusted for our advisory and our teaching. Okay, everything that we say usually ends up making a lot of money. Everything that we say usually ends up saving you a lot of money. And there is a huge last 10 years of documentary proof on social media, which you can go and access. So it's not that I'm saying something and you can go it. In fact, this group in which called STOCKBABA has been running for about 4 years right now. And I have been answering people's questions for last 4 years. That is about 1,200 days. And you can actually go and check the kind of advice I've been able to give. And I do it only to help people out. Okay. Because that's again, Stock Baba is something I started because I promised my father when he was passing away that, that I'm going to make sure that it is criminal for people who are middle class or upper middle class or even rich class people to lose money in the stock market, where they can use that money for their family or for their parents or for the children's education. So that's the philosophy in which we come. So we do not absolutely compromise on our work ethics. We do not, and there will be thousands of people who will vouch for that. Okay, so no compromise on our ethics, no compromising our honesty, no compromising on our advice. Okay, what we tell you is what will either help you to make money or will save you money. Okay, so our credibility is out in the open. There have been public videos and calls which I have given, which you can go and check. We do manage portfolios for others, but only provided we are comfortable with them. So again, for us, money really is not an object from that point of view. Unless and until I want to work with you, we will not work with you, come what may. Okay. One of the most important policies that we have in our life is that we will not do any sales, which means that we will not try to sell you any of our products. We will not try to sell you any of our programs. Okay, unless and until you try to convince to us in one way or the other that you deserve to be taught by us, we will not teach you. Okay. So very strict no sales policy, which means if you send me an email, we are not going to bombard you with 1,000 emails. We are not going to send you SMSs. We'll do nothing. You ask me that I want to learn from you. If I think you deserve to be taught, we will teach you. Otherwise, we will not follow up with you unless until you prove it to us. We will not do it. Okay. So we have a very, very strict no sales policy. Okay, and that's not changed. In fact, most of the students who have come to us have come through a reference. Okay, so unless and until we are very sure about the reference and we are very sure about how it works, we we don't take people in our programs at all. We have a very strict no sales policy. Let's go ahead. So let's quickly understand a couple of things. So what is trading? What is investing? What is fundamental analysis? What is technical analysis? A couple of things which I want to explain to you. What does fundamental analysis really mean? Okay, so I'm not here to teach you finance. I'm going to teach you. My job is to make the stock market as easy as possible. Okay, that's my job as a teacher. Which means, in fact, when we have our students, some of our students are as old as 4 and 5 and 3 years of age. So We regularly have a lot of students who are parents getting their children along with them into the classroom and sitting there, and we love to teach with the children. Okay, in fact, when my son was 6 years of age, he started teaching in the class. Now he's about 14. So he used to sit down and take some portions of the education when he was 6 and 7 years of age. Okay, my second son, who is about 17 years of age today, he has his own trading platform and he trades on his own. So and the objective is that he makes his own money and he goes to college. So that is the um, thought process that we come from. So what does fundamental analysis mean? Fundamental analysis means knowledge about something. Like for example, if I want to know who you are, what you do, what's your education, qualification, what you like or what you don't like, is called as fundamental analysis. So similarly, if I want to do fundamental analysis on a company, I need to know who you are, what does the company do, what is the business of the company, what are the profits, what are the spreads and everything. So that is what is fundamental analysis. What is trading? Okay, trading simply means buying and selling. Okay, you're buying low and selling high. There is only one way of making money in the stock market, and that is buying low and selling high. Buying low and selling high. That's the only way. So trading basically means buying and selling. Okay, which means the fruit wala who is down your building also does trading. The chana wala also does trading. Everybody is doing trading. Okay, so if you are into the market to buy and sell, you are a trader. Okay, it's very simple. You are a trader. So then what is investing? Investing simply means putting your money into the business of the company. Simply put, let's say for example, you are investing into an ice cream business, which means you need to know how to get milk, how to make an ice cream, how to sell an ice cream, how to brand an ice cream, how to make distribution channels. You need to understand the business of ice cream manufacturing for you to be an investor into the ice cream business. So if you are just buying a stock, that does not mean you are an investor, because you are not. You would only be an investor provided you are putting your money into the business of the company, which means, let's say if you're putting your money into Reliance today, you're actually putting your money into the Geo platform and you're putting your money into the oil and gas business. If you're putting your money into Marico, you're putting your money into the distribution business, that is FMCG business. If you're putting your money into ITC, you are putting your money into the tobacco business as well as the allied businesses that ITC has. And for you to be putting your money into the business of the company, you need to know the business of the company first. And for you to know the business of the company first, basic minimum that you need to do in your life is to read the annual report. Because everything is written in the annual report, right? And if you know the annual report, you will know the business. If you know the business, you are an investor. But if you don't want to do any of those things and you are only wanting to buy and sell, then believe me, you are only a trader. So what is trading? Trading is just buying and selling. Okay. But honestly, you don't want to hear all this. All you really want to know is you don't want to waste your another half an hour of your time listening to all this global GAN. What you really want to do is you want to ask me a question, sir, what price do I want to buy the stock on Monday morning so that I can make money? Correct or not? So if you are only interested in buying the stock at a certain price and selling the stock at a certain price, then you are only a trader. Are you understanding? If you are putting your money into the business, you're an investor. But if you're only interested in buying and selling and making profits, you're only a trader. And the moment you call yourself a trader, there are about 4 or 5 different types of trading which can happen. One is called as swing trading, positional trading, momentum trading, long-term trading, and intraday trading. Out of which most where people lose the money is called as intraday trading. What is intraday trading? Buying and selling on the same day multiple number of times. It is a favorite of the brokers. Why? Because brokers make a lot of money. Do you know that 99% of the people who do intraday trading never make money and they always lose money? Okay, this is a fact of the industry. Okay, all the people who are the industry insiders know this, but people who are what we call as retail people never know this. Okay, retail people are people who are novices, who have no idea what the stock market is all about, but they think that they can make money. Okay, professionals are the people who sit down and study, work hard, learn, they use their mind and make money out of it, are called professionals. So the stock market is based out of two groups of people, and 99% are the what is called as retailers who have no idea what to do in the market and they always lose money. And when they lose money, that entire amount of money comes to that tiny 1% of the people which are called as professionals. So 99% people lose money, 1% people make money. Most of these people do intraday trading, or they trade futures, or they trade options. If you're getting into any of these futures or options or intraday without knowing how the system works, you are always going to lose money. It's a guarantee from my side. Why do I know this? Because I'm on the board of Sharekhan, I'm on the board of ICICI Direct, I have that data. You don't, right? So there are different types of trading. Intraday trading is the most favorite of the brokers. That's why they make you do it, but it never makes money. But the brokers make a lot of money. But if you really want to make money, you need to move away from intraday. You need to move towards swing trading. So what is swing trading? Swing trading is very simple. As the market takes a swing, you buy the stock and you sell the stock. That's called as a swing trading. You'll make anywhere about 10 to 15% profits, and very, very easily, without stress. What is positional trading? You build up a position in the market, which means as the market moves in a certain direction, you build up your position, you sell it off at the top. You could make anywhere between 25 to 30%, maybe 40% more. The easiest examples of swing trading and positional trading would be the trades which have gone into Reliance Industries in last 2 3 months. These are swing and positional trades, big monies. What is momentum trading? Momentum trading is trading where you are taking the help of the momentum of the market and making money. That is called as momentum trading. What is long term trading? Long term trading is another type of trading where you hold your stocks for 1 year or 2 year or 3 year, and you make money out of it. Now, all of this makes money. Swing trades make money, positional trades make money, momentum trades make money, and long term trade make money. The style which does not make money, which everybody does, and which all the brokers recommend, is intraday trading, because brokers make a lot of money, but the people who don't make. Okay, so swing trading and positional trading is what you should be focusing at. I am a very, very clear swing and a positional trader. In fact, there are some trades which I have been into for last 8 years of my life. Okay, 8 years I have been into a trade and I'm still not exiting out of it because I make a lot of money out of it. So that is where you need to be focusing on. So if you are interested in something like this, then this program might help you a lot and you'll make a lot of money out of it. If this is not something which is for you, then maybe this is not something for you. Okay, so let's move ahead. So tips. So why are all our tips so successful? The reason why all our tips, and there is a whole, yeah, uh, uh, timelines of 4 years or 4.5 years on Facebook on StockBABA group, where almost everything that we say makes money or does not make money. And why are we so successful? Because we are not analysts, we are traders, which means I put my own money into the stock before I recommend it to my students, and that is why I make money. Okay, so there is a huge difference in the way I think from somebody who is selling you tips, or from somebody who is interested in giving you tips so that you pay money. Okay, because we put the money where our mouth is. Okay, that is why everything is so successful. So what is this program tips? The program tips is very simple. We are going to give you a little bit of education. We are going to give you a little bit of recommendations for our students. So we don't sell our tips, but yeah, I do share whatever I take with my students. Yeah. Now, whether you take it for educational purposes or whether you take it for reverse engineering to learn better, or whether you take it to make money, it is up to you. But yeah, we do give education, and we also at the same time share my personal tips, whatever I'm doing. There are programs where not only do I share what I'm doing, but I also explain why am I doing what I'm doing, so that my students can learn it and repeat it the next time, so that they don't depend on me. Okay, so the tips program is based out of education and support for you to make money. And how does this work? By giving you teaching you swing, momentum, positional, and long term trading, explaining to you how precise, targeted, and calibrated trades work. Okay, it is always going to be long only, which means it's going to be buy and hold. There is going to be no shorting, so there is no stress on your side. This program is going to be based on trades which does not have stop loss, which means we are going to be based on technical analysis and market analysis, and the precision with which we select our stocks and the precision with which we select our prices is so good that you actually don't require stop losses at all. Okay. Why is this program interesting to you? Because it is very low on your stress. Because once you get to know why we are doing what we are doing, and you take that, You will have very low stress because there is a logic for everything. There is a precise logic which you will understand. Okay, the time commitment from your side is going to be very, very low. You don't need to be constantly looking at the screen at all, which means probably you'll have to look at 5 minutes on during the day in the morning, and put an alarm and exit at about whatever price that you exit out, even without looking at the screen. Okay, so the time limit is very, very low. For risk, we, like I said, I'm a professional investor and a trader. We don't take risk. Okay, that is not the business we are into. So the risk is very, very low. Okay, the probability of our trades is very, very high because we understand the market. Okay, now your question will be, okay, are your tips 100% accurate? And the answer is no. And that's the beauty of it, that actually, if you really understand anything about the stock market and how the functioning of the stock market, your trades do not need to have accuracy of more than 40%. Actually, for you to make serious amount of money, you don't need an accuracy of more than 40%. So if you are able to hit 40%, you are going to make a lot of money. Anything above 40% is always going to make a lot of money for you. The people who say that I have an accuracy of 80 and 90%, they are absolutely talking crap. Okay, because it is not needed, and you cannot even do that. Yeah, but yes, we have been able to achieve about 75 or 80%, because we function in a different manner. Okay, you can use the concepts called IPNP, which is inverse pyramiding and pyramided, to help your money making ability. We do believe in diversification. Imagine for a minute of time, after you do this program and after you get a whole CS number of stocks at that precise price points, you are having a portfolio of 30 or 40 extremely high performing stocks on your portfolio. How will your portfolio look like and how much money will you make? Sit down and think. You have an access to knowledge and information at the time, precision time, where you are able to pick out the choicest of 30 or 40 performing stocks at the price where the risk is the lowest and the returns is the highest. So if this is something which interests you, this program definitely is for you. Okay, the way we go about doing it is that we give education, we give support, we focus on our student success. I mean, almost all our students will say this. I mean, they'll unabashedly say this, that we really do care for our students, and we have one-to-one personal relationships, which means tomorrow if you have an issue, you can actually pick up the call and call me up and speak to me, and I'll be talking to you and giving you a solution. And in fact, most of my students, they start with one program and end up doing all the 15 or 16 programs over last 8 years. So not 1 year or 2 years, 8 years. So most of my students come to me again and again because there is some value add which I put to there for them. Okay. Again, just a quick one, the subject to selection of this thing. One very, very important criteria that we have in our life is that almost every program is for life, which means once you become a student, then you remain a student forever. So I know students who have been with me for last 9 years, for last 10 years, for last 7 years, for last 6 years, who deal with me on a daily basis, and they get a value out of it. So all our programs are for life. Tips will also be for life, which means once you associate with us, we will help you for the rest of your life. We have what is called as a 10x rule. What is a 10x rule? Very simple. Whatever you pay me, it is in my mind that I have to pay you 10x back. So let's say, for example, you pay me 1 lakh rupees for whatever that you are paying me. It is in my mind. It is a priority for me that I want to pay you 10 lakh rupees back. And if I don't pay you 10 lakh rupees back, I'm the one who's uncomfortable about it, not you. That is how we go about teaching. Okay, so it is really not about you, it's about me. So we very strictly follow by the 10x rule. Okay, what will you be taught? Technical analysis, market analysis, trading concepts, trader psychology, risk management, trading systems. You require all 6 of it to be making money. Most of this never gets taught in the Indian scenario. What gets taught is technical analysis at the most, and maybe a risk management system called stop losses. Okay, so 4 or 5 things are not get taught. That's why most people don't make money. Okay, what else? There are huge secret groups that we have. We have about 25 secret groups running on Facebook, which you guys are not even aware of. There's a whole lot of activity which happens there. Okay, whenever there's a physical class, you have an access to that physical class, so you can actually sit down and listen to us one-to-one. We have a lot of events. So not only do we have physical class of training, we also have parties, okay, where we mingle with our students just because we want to meet them. For no apparent reason, we are not there to make money out of it. Just because a lot of students like to meet us, so we have a lot of parties, we have a lot of events, we have a lot of picnics, we have a lot of treks which have been going on. So we've done a lot of these things, okay, because we enjoy being with our students, okay. Chance to get towards a higher end cutting edge programs. Okay, the most important thing about our programs is that, which most of you guys would not know, is that the children of all our students have a free access to our programs till the age of 20, which means if you have a son or a daughter and he is about 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, we will allow him completely free inside the classroom, and he can physically walk. If we, whenever we have a physical class, he can come down and attend our classrooms. So that is a commitment which I have towards my students. And whenever I have a physical class, my children are always there. So you know that. So these are all the things which are going to be taught: protocols, procedures, systems, processes, strategies, framework, tacticals, decision matrix. How we are going to deliver it, it's going to be online through webinars. There are mentors, which means if you ever have any questions or doubts, you can speak to your mentors and they can help you out. There are WhatsApp groups, there are physical classes, there are events, whole lot of on really. So the whole ecosystem is set and has been functioning extremely well for last 7 years. Okay. So the question is, can you be a part of it and take advantage of it? Okay, so now you understand what the TIPS program is. Very simple, a little bit of education, a lot of support, a lot of recommendations, a lot of sharing of my trades with you so that you make money out of it and also learn why those trades were taken. So, who is it for? It is for people who want to earn, learn, and have fun. Okay, who want to have a secondary side income, who also want to someday think that I want to quit my job and become a full-time trader. My students end up becoming a full-time trader. A lot of students are in the verge of quitting their jobs and becoming a full-time trader and making a lot of money because they realize that they make more money in 5 days than they would do in their salary in a month. Okay, so it's for those people who are aspirational. It's for those people who want to work hard. It's for those people who want to use their head. It's for those people who want to, who like logic and thinking, okay, and are ready to work hard. So how much are these programs going to cost? And let me tell you, it is going to cost you a lot less than what you will lose in the stock market, whether you are through mutual funds or through equities. Lot less than what you're going to lose in the stock market, and a lot less than what you will pay me. Okay, so whatever you're going to pay me, you're going to make 40 times more from me by learning this program. So you are going to pay me a lot less than what you're going to lose in the market, and you're going to pay me a lot less than what you're going to make from this. Okay, so don't worry about the way we structure up pricing because it is really very competitive and low. Okay, and the knowledge, you can make money for the rest of your life. Imagine you are going to be able to make money for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Okay. Uh, if you are among the point that you think that you want the cheapest program, it's not that we are not, it's not that we are cheap. It is that that whole mindset and that whole thinking is not what we like because it never makes money for anyone. Okay. So it might not be for you if you really want to count your pennies. So if you are one of those penny wise, pound foolish, this program is not for you. We are not for you. How much? Again, there's a saying which says that what is good is not cheap and what is cheap is not good. Let me say it to you. What is good is not cheap and what is cheap is not good. There is a saying in Hindi which says, Sasta bar bar roe, महंगा एक बार roe. Okay. So, yeah. So if you buy something which is cheap, you may not get what you intended to get first of all. But if you buy something expensive, then there's a very high chance that you might get what you want. So in any case, what can be expected? Authentic experience of learning, trust. Okay, people come to me because they trust my teaching and my honesty and my dependability and my work ethics and my hard work. Okay. So if you are for all those values in life, we may be for you, our programs may be for you. Okay. So what can be expected? direct opportunity to earn big amount of money through risk adjusted trades. Okay. Uh, like I said, asymmetrical risk reward ratio is what we were talking about. So now you know who we are. Now we know what is the program called TIPS. So very quickly, let me just show you something which you might have overlooked. Stock market is the only business in the world where over a period of time, stock market is the only business in the world where over a period of time, because your skills go up, the amount of money will go higher, provided you know what to do, and the amount of time to do what you want to do goes down. The stock market is the only business in the world that over a period of time, the amount of money that you are going to make is going to be a lot higher, but the amount of time required to make that money is going to be a lot lower because your skill sets go higher. Okay. Remember, for you to be able to trade one stock or invest one stock or 1 million stocks is exactly the same. All you require is to build up your conviction. So whether you trade 1000 rupees or 500 crore rupees, if you have the skill set, the time required to do the thing is exactly the same. Okay, that is the reason why you should be in the stock market. It doesn't happen in any other business. Okay, so what are the programs which is online? There's something called a super trader. Okay, there's something which is called as traders club. There's something which is called as individual portfolios, where you can build up your long-term portfolios, plan for your retirement or whatever. There is a very popular product called as automatic super stock SIP, where you can have a SIP, systematic investment plan, on stocks. So you can build up a whole portfolio of the best performing stocks at the best price by an SIP route, and it beats every mutual fund in India hands down. Okay. So, and then we are going to also offer to you what is called as master classes. In fact, most or a lot of our students do come to us purely to attend master classes. So they come to me to learn about the stock market, but they end up learning more about philosophies and and mindsets and thought processes. So masterclass. So very quickly, let me just quickly tell you how this program works. But we have divided this program into three parts. One is called as a school level, second is college level, and third is graduation level. So in school level, it's going to be basic minimum education, but you are going to get our trades, which we'll share with you. So if you are of that variety of student who wants to have basic education, but you want tips to make money, then you should be attending the school. If you want to be a person who says, you know what, I really want to learn a lot from you and make a lot of money from you, and this seems amazing that I have an association with you for the rest of your life, then you should get towards the graduation program. If you are undecided between the two, you should sit down and work in the college. So how does a school program work? School program is very simple. You will have the basic education, which is called as one level of education. Okay. If you are into college, you will have three levels of education. But if you're into graduation, you will have seven levels of education. So level one, so in schooling, you will only be taught the basic, which is required for you to be able to make money in the stock market. And then we will share with you whatever trades we take. Okay. In college, we'll give you about three levels of education, which is fairly intense. And then we'll share with you not only our whatever we trade, but we'll also recommend to you what is called as stock SIP. And if you really are the smart one and who wants to figure out that, oh, you know what, there's a lot of money to be made here, then you should attend the graduation program. So let me just quickly break it down for you, how it works. So for a school program, level one will cost you about 15,000 rupees. Okay. And then we'll share with you our recommendation of stocks, which is costing you 22,000 rupees. And we will also throw in, because most of you guys are on mutual funds and doing SIP on mutual funds, and all of you know by now that your mutual fund SIPs are not making any money. So we have a program to teach you how to better utilize your mutual funds, and also give you tips as to when to put your mutual funds and with the market timing. Okay. So that is a beautiful program. It actually makes money with the mutual funds that you have. Okay. So that is going to cost you 13,000 rupees. The total of value of all three programs together is about 50,000 rupees. Okay. If you want to go to the college level, you will get three levels of education, which is level one basic, level 1A, level 1B. And then you will have all these programs. So you'll have tips of 22, fund of 32, and we'll share with you automatic SIP. So you can build up your SIP portfolio. This total comes to 76. And if you want to go whole hog into it, then you go through the entire program, which costs 36, and then these are the pricing. So the school program will cost you about 50,000, but today, okay, till the 2nd of October. And why 2nd of October is important? Because 2nd of October is my father's birthday. Okay. So till 2nd of October, I will give you this program for 20,000 rupees, for which your tips and fundu and mutual funds you'll get for 9 months. So not only do you get to be a part of level 1 program forever, but you get to know the trades that we take, you get to know the recommendations that we give you for 9 months. And instead of 50,000, you will get it for only 20,000 till the 2nd of October. After 2nd of October, it reverts back to the price of 50,000. If you want to get to the college level, then this whole thing will cost you 76,000 rupees till that is the price, but we will give it to you till for 32,000 rupees till the 2nd of October, which means all your formalities have to be completed by 2nd of October. Money has to be transferred in, and if that is happening, you get 32. From the third, back to 76. And the third one is, which is the real cream de la cream, is you will get the entire program for 45,000 rupees. So for 45,000 rupees, you will get all of this. For this, you become you get to learn the entire super trader program forever, and you get all this for 9 months. Okay, along with master classes for 9 months. If you ask me what is the best bet out of it, this is the best bet out of it, because you get a lot more for lot less. Okay, but till the time it is 2nd of October. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll make it a little bit more sweeter for you. From the 2nd of October, Ari, just give me my phone for a minute. I just want to see the dates. If your money comes in till the 2nd of October, these are the prices which remain. If your money does not come by 2nd of October, if your money comes by 5th of October, so between 2nd of October and 5th of October, the price will be 22,000, 35,000, and 48,000. 22,000, 35,000, and 48,000. So before 2nd of October, before 3rd of October morning, which is 2nd of October, it is 20, 32, and 45. 3rd to 5th will be 22, 35, and 48. And post the 5th, it is going to revert to 50, 76, and 124. Okay, simple. So for you to be joining this program, what do you need to do? Very simple. One, you can type and send me a WhatsApp called fTIPS. You can type fTIPS and send it to this number called 7039991. In that WhatsApp, you need to send across to me your name, okay, saying your name and your I want fTIPS, and you can and you should also send me an email to this email called automatic@outlook.com, where you subject it as fTIPS and you put your name, age, address, education qualification, and your work experience, and attach your Aadhaar card for me. Okay. Based on this, we will select you or we will reject you. So just because you send an email to me and WhatsApp to me does not mean I don't guarantee that I will take you inside the program. It all depends on how we gel, and it all depends on what you answer me over here. And you should write to me 2 sentences why you want to be a part of this program. Okay. So let me explain this again to you. Immediately send a WhatsApp to me on the number 703991111 saying want fTIPS, and email to me on automatic@outlook.com with the subject fTIPS, with your name, age, address, education, and work experience, and attach an Aadhaar card. Okay. And depending on that, we will answer you and give you the rest of the things as to whether we are okay you joining or not. And if we are okay, where do you need to transfer the money, and you can join the program. You can also alternatively join the program. There is a program, there's a new group on Facebook which has been created called Join Facebook Group. So you join that Facebook group and the rest of the formalities will be kept there. So now, any questions, any doubts, anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me now. Anything that you want to ask me, any questions, any doubts, anything at all, I'm open to your answers. So Saurabh Rathi says, my job involves a lot of travel. So don't worry about can the program be virtual? The program is virtual, Saurabh. Everything is online. You don't need to be worried. We have students in 25 different countries. We have students in Calgary. We have students in Iceland. We have students in Switzerland. We have students in South Americas, in Australia, in the Middle East, in Italy, everywhere. Okay, so don't worry about it. So if you're travel again, this program is a program which means once you become a student, you remain a student forever. So whether you take 2 years or 10 years or 20 years to learn, we will still teach you. Okay, and so even if you're traveling, it doesn't matter because everything is online. Is that okay? Yeah. Duration is 9 months. So Nitin Arya's question is duration is 9 months. Nitin, the duration of the program is forever, but we will share with you the tips for 9 months only. Are you understanding? So recommendation tips we will share with you for 9 months. After 9 months, you can renew it if you want. Okay, but the education will remain with you forever. Nitin, do you understand this? So once you join the program, the education is forever. But the tips will be shared with you only for 9 months. After that, you have a choice whether you want to renew it or not. Okay. Tushar Hegde question is, will the fTIPS program be given cell calls to? Tushar, we will not be giving you short cell calls. Yeah, we will give you a buy call and we'll also tell you where to exit. That we will do. So we'll give you a buy call. We'll also tell you where to exit. If you get stuck up, we will guide you. If you get stuck up, we will help you. If you get stuck up with something, if you're doing something wrong, we will tell you. All that we'll do. Once you are under our wings, then you are under our wings. Once you are our students, then we will take care of you. Okay. So we'll tell you buy to buy, but we'll not give you short selling calls. So short selling calls are not during this program. Okay. Nilesh Jadhav is saying, what is the duration of course and proposed schedule time for classes? So Nilesh, like I said to you, the program is forever. Okay. So you can learn for the rest of your life. As you come in the program, you will, on the first day itself, you will get the entire content. So not only will you get the entire, there's a library of about 600 videos and webinars already present. Okay, that will be given to you. Fresh webinars happen every week. In fact, we have 3 webinars every week after 9:15 in the night. Okay, you may attend it, you may not attend it. If you don't attend it, this gets recorded and it's given to you the next day. If you decide to attend it fresh, then you can attend it after 9:15 and you can interact with me like this, and we will teach you. Okay, so teaching happens by 2 or 3 ways. One, specially made videos, which means I actually very regularly make specially made videos and give it to you. 2, we have specially webinars like this where it's an interactive webinar. 2, 3, we give you recorded sessions. Okay. Further up, if you ever have a question or doubt, we have a group of mentors. You can call up your mentors. You can talk to us. We will give you answers to all your questions and doubts. We have different forums. We have a special forum only to answer your questions. We have special forum only to solve your basic queries. We have special forum where we give you homework. We have a special forum where we take tests on regular basis. So it's a very, very interactive thing. So it's actually multi-layered, depending on what works for you. So some people learn by watching videos on their own. Some people learn by interactive session like this. Some people like to have an interactive session as well as come to a physical class. In fact, most of our students love to come physical classes because we also love to teach them, and we really go all out. Okay. And we all have fun. And I encourage our students to get their children and come in the classroom. So a lot of times we have children who are 2, 3 years of age, 4 years of age, 5 years of age, 8, 9 years of age, kids coming down and sitting with their parents and learning. And we make it a point that our students, not only do they learn, their children also learn. So we really enjoy it. Okay. So you can also do the same. So yeah. So Nilesh Jadhav, I hope I have given you an answer to your question. So the duration of the course is perpetual, but your tips you'll get for 9 months. Okay, Raman, assess allocation for tips will be told to you, Raman. There's a whole assess allocation. There's a whole process and a formula for it, and there is a algorithm for it. So that will be taught to you. Umesh Kumar Tulsiani says, I'm based out of Kuwait. How can I attend the classes? Because I take classes only during the evening when I am at home. So Umesh, not a problem. We have at least about 100 students who are based out of Middle East. Okay, at least 100 students, and they've never had a problem. So you can either attend a physical classes which happen after 9:15 in the night, which is like now, or you will get the recording sessions where you can sit down and go through the recording sessions and you'll get all your answers. Okay. Nilesh Jadhav says, and the minimum just 1 second, guys, just hold asking questions because it's all going on. Just 1 second. Okay. So Nilesh Jadhav says minimum investment for trade during training. The minimum investment trade during trading is about 5,000 rupees. So when you're learning, you don't require really more than 5,000 rupees. Okay. Tushar Hegde says, right, sir, been a student for 2 years, you rock. Thank you, Tushar. I appreciate your saying that I rock. You also rock too. Okay, we all rock. Prathamesh Bhakre says, do you teach FNO in the program? We have an absolute cutting edge futures trading program called Futures Masters, and one program above that called Ninja Trader, which is absolutely the best anywhere in the world. I mean, we have trading systems where the precision of futures trades are amazing. Okay, but we only and only give it to our students whom we trust. Okay, so we have, and like I said, Ninja Trader has been going on for last 4 years. Futures Master has been going on for last 5 years. These are precision and absolutely accurate trading systems, but you need to be a student for some time, and we need to know that you are studying well and you are dedicated. Only then we'll offer those programs to you. Okay. Sir, in graduation course, can I become a full-time trader? Yeah, you can. Okay, you can. So in the graduation program, which is called as a Super Trader program, it's a massive program. It's a massive program. That graduation program will have minimum of at least 120 individual concepts. At least 120 individual concepts. So if you just sit down and do that, it's like doing a PhD. You do that, you'll be able to become a full-time trader. There's no problem on that. So Nikhil B says that if we already enrolled for school, can we get to college or graduation? So Nikhil, with the way we have priced it at this point of time is that we have given you deep discounts. Okay. You can enter the school at a deep discount, but if you graduate from school to college, you will have to pay the actual price at that point of time. You are not going to get discounts then. So if you think that you really want to be inside the program, best is go to the graduation program. You will not regret. Let me tell you this very clearly and bluntly and upfront. Okay, any program you do with us, you are never going to regret. It's not possible. Okay, you will always learn a lot more than you thought you should learn from us, and you can use it for rest of your life. Okay, so if you think that you are going to, let me tell you straight off, if you just join the school program, you'll pay a lot more money to me, which I'm happy, because you're going to pay me a lot more money for the same content, right? So I would suggest join the school program and then pay me a lot more money. Why should I give you a discount? But if you're smart about it, I think you should directly join the graduation program. Nikhil, you got your answer? Jayesh Mathani says, which trader platform do you prefer? Jayesh, it does not matter really. You can choose any of your brokers that you want to. You want to trade on any brokers that you want to. All I would suggest to you is that use a robust trading platform, and that is good enough. All I require for you to is, one, have a robust, dependable trading platform, and two, it has to have charts. So if you have that, that's it. That's good enough, right, Jayesh? So we don't have a proper saying that you have to trade only with us. Okay. Rakesh Suneja says, in which program technical fundamental is taught? Rakesh, we only teach technical analysis. We don't teach fundamental analysis, for a simple reason that fundamental analysis is not even needed to be taught. In fact, the accuracy of technical analysis is so much, and our systems and processes and strategies and frameworks are so precise and are so accurate, and it just gives you so much clarity, like just looking through an X-ray, that you don't require fundamental analysis at all. In fact, even if you are able to catch about 40% of this program that I teach you, you'll be able to go and talk on TV. And we have a lot of students who go on TV and talk and do all that talking. I don't like TV. I don't have a TV at home. I have never seen TV for the last 18 years of my life. So I don't know what goes on, but there are a lot of students who are my students who go on TV. So even if you are able to catch about 40% of this Super Trader program, which is the graduation program, you're good to go. Believe me. Okay. So Dhirendra says, I want to become a full-time trader. So please join the graduation program is all I can say. Parth Vora says, for me, tips are primary, but education is secondary for school. All educations will be included. See, Parth, it depends on what you want. Like if your education is secondary, But tips are primary. It depends on what tips you want. If you want only the tips for trading, then join the school program. But if you want to go whole hog, and if you also want to build up your stock portfolio through SIP, which I would strongly recommend because you'll make a lot of money. Okay. So if you want to go, if you want access to stock SIPs, if you want access to master classes, if you want access to building up your portfolio, which is a long-term portfolio, I would suggest you go through your graduation program. Like I said to you, I promise you, you will not regret. Okay, like absolutely not regret. But it's up to you. You can do whatever you need to do. Minimum capital required for trading worthwhile. Minimum capital required when you're learning is about 5,000 rupees. That's the minimum capital required. Okay, can you pay through EMI, Kuldeep Rathod? No, we don't have a way of paying through EMI, Kuldeep. Our basic program today is costing only 20,000 rupees. And if 20,000 rupees is bothering you, then let me tell you, you're doing something wrong in your life. And two, stock market is not free. Okay. Yeah. So, no, you need to pay in cash and get it done through it. But like I said to you, we are not a commercial organization. Most of our programs, we keep it at the bare minimum cost so that you get the highest amount of value out of it. So we are not here to tell you you should join an EMI and all. We don't do all that nonsense. We don't. I don't have the bandwidth for it, honestly speaking. So no, we don't have EMI. Okay. What is the frequency of tips given? Praveen Sharma, what is the frequency of tips? See, we usually come up whatever trades I take, and if I see an opportunity on a daily basis, we usually try to go operational on a daily basis. But if I don't see an opportunity, then I will not give because there is no opportunity. If only when I see an opportunity, we will share it with you. If you don't see an opportunity, there is no chance of sharing it because it's not there. So usually it is on a weekly basis. So we are in the market all the time. Like I start my day at 5 in the morning. So by 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm always there in the market. Okay. So I have to pay for the entire graduation. Nikhil B, yes. If you want to join the graduation program, pay the entire graduation program. That's how simple it is. So the Dhirendra is asking me a question that how much time will it require per day for graduation course? See, Dhirendra, it depends on how much you want to make money. Yaar. Most of us have a formal education of 18 years, and that's when we get about 15,000 rupees paid as a graduate. Now here you want to make a large amount of money, sit down and work. At least 3-4 hours a day is good enough here. Anyway, you can't sustain more than 3-4 hours because there's a lot of heavy education. So while we try to make our education very simple, there is a lot of serious concepts. So you guys don't get it. I mean, honestly, I think most of you have no idea how much learning there is going to be. While we make it very simple, we make it very enjoyable, but you still have no idea how much you have to learn because by the time you go through our graduation program, you will be better than most professionals in the market. This I can tell you for sure. Okay, so there is a lot of education. So put your hard, put your time, put your effort, make money out of it. Okay. Seema Kothari is asking a question: will be requiring any software? Software is not needed. Software is given by a broker free of cost. So use that software at the basic level. Then we'll see. At the beginner, we don't require now. I mean, I'm not here to teach you how to operate a software. I'm here to teach you how to think like a professional. Okay. Siju Baker is asking me a question. Will you be sharing recordings of the session? I missed the portion where courses and fees details were discussed. Yeah, maybe in a 2 or 3 days time we will process this information and we will upload it on the group so you can have a look at it. Amit Pednekar says, will the graduation program require FNO? No, the graduation program will not have futures and options. Okay. Futures, we have a different program which is absolutely a cutting edge program, okay, called Futures Masters. And then there is another cutting edge program on the top of that called as Ninja Traders. I have known students who make about 4-5 lakh rupees a day from these programs. I have known students who make about 1-1.5 lakh rupees a day from those programs. So those are super specialized programs. Those are later. After you learn futures is when you learn options. So there's a long way for you to go. But this program will create a massive base for you. So 80% of your futures trading will be covered in it, but that 20% you will require to go higher. Okay. And if you want to make serious big amount of money, the Futures Masters is the program you need to be, or Ninja Trader is the program you need to be onto, not this program. But if you don't do this program, you can't go there really. So it's like post graduation and doing your schooling. If your schooling is not done, whatever I teach you in post grad, it'll just go above your head. Okay. So forget about doing futures trading right now. पहले ये तो करो sir, यही बहुत पैसा बनाएगा. This program itself will make serious amount of money for you. One, it will make serious amount of money for you. Two, it will make serious amount of money without stress. Three, it will make serious amount of money with full control. And you will absolutely be cool all your life. You won't be hyper and jumpy in your life. So do this first. First, do this. Learn this. Work hard. Then come and tell me, sir, I have understood everything. Okay, teach me more. Then we'll have a conversation. पहले ये तो करो. This itself is going to be shaking your earth left and right. Okay. So will there be any charting software required? You will be requiring a charting software, but that broker gives you, and it is for free. So you don't require to pay for it. Yeah, if you want to take a professional charting software, we have sources for it, but it's not needed. Okay. Ravindra Joshi is asking a question: how is it useful for a beginner? So let me put it in this manner. Ravindra, the same program, which is a graduation program, is taught to my 6-year-old son, is taught to my 9-year-old daughter. My son, who's 16 years or 17 years of age, just out of 10th standard. For last 2 years, he has his own trading terminal and is trading. The same program is already being taught by my students to their children, where the children have been 2-3 years of age. So there are some children who are 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, who go through the exact same program that you're going to enroll because their parents have gone through it. Okay. And if you do come into a physical classroom session whenever this whole drama of COVID is over, you will actually be able to not only meet the children but also their parents and have a conversation with them. And for all practical purposes, the only thing which they will tell you is you should have joined this program 10 years back. This is something which we've heard over and over, that I wish I would have joined this program 10 years back. I wish I would have joined this program 15 years back, because you are losing that amount of time. So Ashutosh Ganatra says, could you share the email for the registration again, please? I will go back and I will show you the slide again. Email, share again. Okay, let me just show you the email. So the email. So first of all, here's what you need to do. Please, very quickly, because I am very serious about closing this on the 2nd of October, because that's my father's birthday. So this is like a gift to him. Okay, 3rd onwards, I'm going to increase the price of all the programs by 2,000, 3,000 and 5,000. And after the 5th of October, it straight goes to his original pricing, which is this. So if it comes by, all your formalities come in the next 2 days and you make the payment by the 2nd of October, this is the pricing for you. Till the 5th, 2,000 added here, 3,000 added here, and 3,000 added here. And post that, post 5th of October, the pricing reverts to this. Okay. Now what you need to do, take this number 70399111111, WhatsApp to me fTIPS with your name and your email address so that I know who you are, what's your name and your email address. And after you do that, send an email to automatic@outlook.com with the subject fTIPS. Please put very clearly, because I am going to be sitting down and judging you for your credibility and for your sincerity. And if I feel otherwise, I will not even revert to you, and we have rejected a lot of people. Your name, your age, your address, your education qualification, your work experience, so I get to know who you are. And I need your attachment of an ID, which is an Aadhaar card ID. Okay, we don't use this information ever again, which means if you write to me and if you don't write to me again, we will never use this information again. We will never email you, we will never spam you, we don't care. You don't contact me, I will never contact you, because you're going to pay me about 20-30,000 rupees and you're going to make at least about 20-30 lakh rupees out of me. For this. So don't worry about the information, it's all safe. Okay. So if you're serious, send this across. There is a Facebook group which has been created called Application to Facebook Programs. Join the program. The rest of these details will be kept there so that you can have an access to it. Is that okay? Does this help all of you? Sir, sab mil gaya kya? Thank you so much. Okay. All right. don't have any more questions, then this is where I'm going to stop. It is almost 11 o'clock in the night. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me patiently. I hope I have been able to give you the value that you came for. Please hurry up. This is my gift to my late father. This is all I can say to you. Goodbye and good night, and have fun.